I don't mean to be in front of you.
You don't have a sign-up sheet?
I think it's okay if you don't, frankly.
We don't have a
It's a
sign-up
little
sheet.
messy. So.
Do you guys want one?
Yeah, we'll just sign up because we've already.
So if you guys want it, we're willing to do it, but otherwise, just we're committed to
We've already established a bit of an
We're gonna be
order,
here.
so I think it's fine.
Just have people line up. Where is it? Yep.
The police act as an apparatus to reinforce class structure in our society. They protect the upwardly middle class and affluent portions of our society. They carry out the business of the 1%, right? Yeah. They're the largest gang organization in the United States of America.
Say it again. Say it again.
They have more blood on their hands. I cannot stand for the flag.
Welcome everybody to the July 16th meeting of the Eagan City Council. It's our second regular meeting of the month of July. I want to welcome everybody in the room tonight. We're appreciative that you are here, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. In our city council meetings, ordinarily, our public comment or visitors to be heard, as we call it, is at the end of the meeting. For the community watching on cable television, I want to give a brief update. About 2 weeks ago tonight, Eagan Police and a number of other agencies were involved in a several-hour incident that resulted in an officer-involved shooting.
Murder.
Use active language.
Eagan, get his name right.
They killed him. Under investigation by the DCA.
Isaac, I'm not.
We have a DCA and a community of people who has questions and concerns and want to be heard. We in the city of Eagan want to make sure to accommodate that. We want you to be heard, and we want to listen. So, while our visitors to be heard is ordinarily at the end of the meeting, as we move on to adopt the agenda tonight, I'm going to ask the council to change the agenda up and move our visitors to be heard section to the beginning of the meeting, so we can get to your comments and your concerns and be heard. So, I'm going to make the motion for an agenda right now, and ask that the agenda be changed to move that visit to be heard up. I'll make that motion, and then following that, I'll open up that listening session with a few comments. So, with that, Mr. Osborne, are there any additional changes?
No other changes proposed, Mayor.
I'd move the agenda and then move visitors to be heard to the front of the meeting so that we can hear from our audience tonight. Moved and seconded. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. And opposed, nay. That motion carries. So we adopted an amended agenda, and immediately following the adoption of the agenda and preceding recognitions and presentations, we will have our traditional listening session. Before we open up that listening session, and I do appreciate everybody being here, and I appreciate your cooperation in letting us move that up. Any officer-involved shooting is
Murder!
That's what it is now. It's a particular tragedy when it ends in the death of anybody
In the murders.
In the murder.
Isaac.
His name is Isaac Eagan.
Say his name.
Isaac Eagan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You didn't know it before?
I am. I want folks to know that these kind of events are tragic. And my thoughts and prayers go to everyone involved.
Do something.
Keep him.
In particular, the family of Isaac, who I know Chief Roger New has had the opportunity to be in communication with, as well as the BCA. I appreciate their willingness to be in communication with us. I assure you, as Chief New has, that communication will continue. And it will continue in conjunction with the BCA. But we look forward to hearing from you. I do want to say to the family, I can't possibly imagine the grief and the pain that you feel from this loss.
Because you're
What are you going to do about it?
There are
Exactly. What are you going to do about it? We're here.
questions that are left unanswered for the time being.
And we need those answers
I
now.
appreciate and understand that, and I sympathize with that. And I want you all to know that on a personal level, I very much have been thinking about Isaac and his family and the grief that they've
Well,
been
call
through.
the
No, you
Dakota-
haven't. No, you haven't.
Call the Dakota County.
Stop lying.
Stop dismissing these comments. Address them.
They're killing us and
Call
they're
the
getting away
Dakota
with
County
it.
attorney.
I-
Submit the evidence, and we want the police
Stop lying.
We want the police prosecuted.
We are here and moved.
Put the pigs away.
Visitors to heard up to the front of the meeting because you want to be heard and we want to listen.
We want
No, you're
justice.
not.
We want justice for Isaac.
Let me please just.
We want justice for all.
Suggestions in terms of how we proceed with visitors to be heard and public comment. As I said, we want to listen. When we take public comment, that is what we do.
Take action.
I would invite you and ask you that generally speaking, we try to stick to about 4 minutes of public comment per individual. We are not rigid on that rule, but would appreciate your cooperation there. With
No
that-
justice, no
with
peace.
That said, the other thing that I want you to know ahead of time is that by and large, when we take public comment, we let you be heard, we listen, and we do not follow up on comments from any single individual, or generally speaking, on the total of the comments. There may be some comment afterwards, but it may well be limited. This forum is primarily so that you can be heard and that the council can hear what you have to say. So with that, my understanding is we don't usually keep a sign-up sheet. Some have requested that there be a sign-up sheet. Is my understanding correct? There's one circulated for folks who want to speak.
It's not necessary.
No.
I don't think it's necessary. It's not necessary? Okay, great. We don't traditionally keep a sign-up sheet. We just call people up in the order that they come. So with that, I'd like to open up our listening session and invite you to say your piece and speak for a moment. If you could, offer your name and where you're from to start with, just so we know you.
You can kill us too.
My name is Isak. I'm the executive director of Care for the City. I want to start off by just greeting you, the City Council, the Mayor, and everybody who came with a greeting of peace that we greet each other with and others every single day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace. I start with that because today, this community and everyone who came here is mourning the loss of a young man who had so much ahead of him. Not only an innovator, an entrepreneur, someone who was loved by his family, someone who's respected by his peers, and someone who was helping his community in any way he possibly could. This young man, sadly to say, all that has been shared so far publicly has been traffic violations. And with all due respect with what that has been shared, I have traffic violations, just like everybody, and almost everybody. And the fact that that was shared is enough to tell us that they don't have anything on this young man. The reality is today we're asking for very simple things. It's simple. It is the right of the people. It is a right for Isaac and his family that we know the truth of exactly what took place on July 2nd.
That's right.
We want to know what took place that resulted in the killing of Isaac Eagan. Every single city, similar to you, makes a decision just like this. But your city can be different today. You can lead the nation in holding your law enforcement accountable for their actions, resulting in whichever the result is. And in this case, killing a young man who had so much in front of him. We want to know exactly what happened. And I know we have bureaucracy when it comes to videos and when and who does what, but every single one of you has been elected to be a change agent for this city and to respond to the needs of the citizens. And every law that seems so just in this country was unjust at a period of time. And so every policy and procedure that you may have in front of you may not be right. And that's why we're asking for you to do the best and most important thing for this community and for this family. And number one, release all of the video and all of the evidence that led to the killing of this young man. Number two, as you can see, this community, we are not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
We believe in justice, not for ourselves. We believe in justice for Isaac, but we also believe in justice for your children.
That's right. That's right.
And we would be here for them if they were gunned down by police officers.
That's right.
Some procedures and some policies that are denying us to see the truth of exactly what happened. But your city can do something, because there's other cities involved in the killing of Isaac Eagan. But your city can lead. And tonight you're starting by listening to us, and we appreciate you changing how it feels to off the street. But I want you to know, you were not elected to sit and uphold policies that are unjust. You were elected to see an opportunity to change policies when you have the moment. And in your town, a young man who has so much promise ahead of him lost his life because of the action of a department you control, you supervise, you're responsible for. We believe in Islam, in my religion, we believe there's one thing that will never be forgiven for, and that is the loss of life. And because that life is going to come in front of you the day of judgment, we believe. And they're going to ask you what you did to fight for their justice. So you think you're only going to provide justice here. We believe deep down in our hearts and our faith that Isaac will be standing with God asking for justice. But I believe you can go on that day and be of those people who actually provided the justice that he so needed. Yeah? That's right. You're going to hear a lot of emotion. You're going to hear a lot of people who are frustrated. But I want you to know you have a lot of power. Do not think that policy or procedure is the only thing ahead of you. In fact, in this state alone, we have the history of Dred Scott, which we failed to recognize. A policy that made human beings property and forced it. A man who walked on this land who thought that. There was a time when all these policies that are in front of you may not be serving us. We're asking not for you to become the prosecution. We're asking you to provide evidence that you're withholding from the community and family. And with that, I would like to bring up Sumaya, who's the sister of Isaac.
As Delaney said, my name is Sumaya Aiden. I am the younger sister of Isaac Aiden. I received a text message from one of Isaac's childhood friends who previously served in South Korea in the military and is now stationed in somewhere in Europe. He heard about the tragic incidents that happened and wanted to tell me as a friend who Isaac was to him. I was told to read this at the press conference last time, but I did not and withheld it. I think this is an appropriate time to let you all know who my brother was. He He started the text message saying, "Whenever I had an issue, Isaac was the first person aside from my family I would consult with. He was a friend and a brother that was mature, generous, and would go out of his way to help you, whether it was just to advise you or even loan you a couple grand. There was even a time I had to go to the emergency and he waited all night at the hospital to make sure I was okay. This is just the type of person he was. For him, family was always came first, and he treated his friends as family. After family came his religion. He was the kind of friend who always advised you to remember God and your relationship with him without imposing his beliefs on you. And third came his career. Isaac was one of the smartest kids I grew up with. He graduated high school with the highest ACT scores of his class. When he went to college, whenever he wasn't in class or work, he would come with me to the library to study. Even after hours of studying, he would still be motivated. Along with going to school, he always looked for an opportunity to keep moving forward. That led him to investing in the stock market in his late teens and eventually starting his own business at the age of 22. Isaac will always be remembered as a successful and self-driven person, and I feel blessed to have called him my best friend. This is from Isaac's friend who is currently serving in Europe. Eagan and Bloomington Police Department has shown us that you can follow all of the rules. You can be the most contributing citizen to American society. You can graduate high school, get your degree, go to college. He was 1 semester away from graduating college, worked in corporate America, owned his own business, invested in stock, and he still was a statistic. He didn't make it to 25. You could be the example of what a black man should be, what a success story should be, and still get gunned down by police. The Eagan Police Department has shown that you guys have the power to prosecute these police and give my brother the justice that I need. We, as a family of Isaac Aiden, want the BCA to do a full and thorough investigation. We want them to do like they say they will, but they haven't. We want them to go into these police departments with search warrants like Minneapolis Police Department did with the Justine Damon case. That's their precedent. They said that was their best practice procedures. Why aren't those best practice procedures being taken from my brother? Why are evidence being kept with us? We've looked at the Data Practice Act. Why doesn't the family have access to the squad and body cam footage? Yep. Why did Eagan Police and all the 9 other agencies involved in the killing of my brother? 90 people were in front of him. Out of all of those 90s, why were 2 officers who were previously involved in a fatal shooting at the front line in front of my brother? They have a history. Why isn't the evidence being provided to us when one of the officers who shot my brother currently has 3 lawsuits filed against him for the way he's administering DWI tests? He was recently awarded the Lakeville Officer of the Year. Yes. Why? We need answers. You have that power to force these departments, at least Eagan, to do a full and thorough investigation, to provide us with all of the evidence that they have, to give my brother the justice that he deserves, to prosecute these police officers. That is my demand. That is the demand of the family. Like you said, you've been thinking about the family of Isaac and himself, Isaac. If you are, these are our demands. We want to be heard. And that's not just enough. Being heard is not enough. We want action. We're tired of seeing this. We're tired of seeing black men as hashtags. These are our brothers, these are our fathers, these are our sons. They matter. They're gunned down at a disproportionate rate, and that's not okay. Enough is enough. We are hurting as a community.
Police are not killing dogs, they're not killing cats, they're killing black person. It's easy to kill the black person. That's not acceptable. We want justice.
That is the aunt of Isaac Aiden. That shows you that we are all hurting. The Somali community is hurting. The Muslim community is hurting. The black community is hurting. All of us are hurting. That's right. The 2 officers that have previously killed someone, they were around my brother's age. They were white males.
it with bait. They get to the system and they know that the system is protecting them. And then when they go to the hospital, they get not guilty.
understand that in the media they say that it's a standard that officers get paid administrative leave. Minneapolis Police Department fired an officer during the investigation. Why are these officers who have the history of killing people why are they on paid administrative leave? Why are they not fired?
Why aren't
That's
they in
right.
jail?
Mayor Dwyer, council members, my name is Michelle Gross. I'm the president of the organization Communities United Against Police Brutality, which has been around for roughly 20 years. On a personal level, much of the work that I do with Communities United Against Police Brutality is with family members of people who have been killed by police. It is in fact my expertise. And what I'm coming to talk to you about now is a little bit about what these families go through. Because what the standard trajectory of these cases is, and we've seen it dozens of times, I've seen it many, many times, is that first the person is vilified. We don't get to know what happened, we don't get to know who did it. But what we know is that the person is vilified. In fact, in the media, it was reported that Mr. Eagan had some petty misdemeanors. Okay, I'm going to bet that everybody sitting at this dais probably has traffic tickets. And I want you to think about if something tragically happened to you, what your family would have to endure hearing it on the news, that somehow you're a bad person because you had a few petty misdemeanors. That's, to me, an outrageous situation. But it's always a grasp at straws to try to vilify that person in some fashion, thus to justify the police action. And that's unacceptable and inappropriate, and it happens every single time. Then the next step in the process is to hand over the information to an agency. In most recent years, it has been the BCA. We have very credible evidence in a number of investigations that, of reviewing of their investigations, that they do not do a neutral investigation. Their quality of their investigations is outrageously poor. Some of it is sloppiness, some of this is deliberate, and some of it is just outright defense of the police officers and bias. And again, we have credible evidence because we have taken the time, as an all-volunteer organization, we have taken the time to go through those investigations, spending months and months and months analyzing the evidence that they put forward, and virtually every single time, what we find is that the investigators ask loaded questions. They fail to do investigations of things that they should. For example, in one particular case where they made a claim that the individual shot a gun at the officers, the individual's hands and clothing were never tested for gunfire residue. His gun was never tested for having been fired. You know, these are the kinds of sloppy things that the BCA does. I don't know what their investigations look like when they are aiding law enforcement in terms of, like, you know, serious crimes that they investigate. I don't know what they look like. What I know that they look like, though, when they're investigating officers, is a very poor quality job that is meant to clear the officers, period. It is not about the truth, it is about clearing the officers. So here we have evidence that could allow the community to know what happened. We don't know what happened. You know, I stand with this family because I stand with all families of stolen lives. But I truly cannot tell you that I know what happened. And why don't we know? Because that evidence is somewhere else. But it doesn't have to be. Under the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act, 13.82 subdivision 15, you have the right, as the originating agency of that data, to release that data. Investigatory data can be withheld by the police, but need not be. That is a choice that is made. And under subdivision 15, for example, what I'd like to point out is it says that, you know, this data can be designated as private or non-public under 13.825, which you know about. But then it says that the police departments and the investigatory agencies can release that data if it will both aid the law enforcement process, promote public safety or to spell widespread rumor or unrest. I would suggest that you have at least one of those conditions and possibly all.
I know that's right.
Much is made of the fact that the BCA has that data. But the reality is that under the Minnesota Government Data Practices Act, all data is to be released by the originating agency. Thus, body camera footage that you own for your police department should and can be released. We would urge you to release the SWAT camera footage, the body camera footage, and any other evidence that you feel will give families some kind of information and maybe some closure. You know, it's not a big request here. It is something that can be done, and you folks can be the leaders in doing it. And I encourage you to take that step. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eagan. I'm the brother of Isaac Eagan. And I just want to start off by saying we're being told time and time again that the BCA, Eagan Police Department, and all parties involved, they're doing a very neutral investigation. After the night my brother was killed, the next day, Wednesday night, he was shot on Tuesday. Wednesday night, his name, they released his name. Literally a couple hours following that, we've been getting harassed by media. People have been reaching out to his Facebook friends. People have been pretending to be working with Regions Hospital and different other organizations to try to just get information from us. The officers who shot my brother were put on paid administrative leave the next day after, they shot my brother. Their names were released this Saturday.
Shame.
Shame, shame, shame.
For you guys, for the BCA and Eagan Police Departments to be telling me you guys are doing a fair investigation and you guys don't want to release officers a week later and not provide their pictures. On the media, my brother's Facebook pictures were used. Anything they could find about my brother was being used. But they only released this Saturday after me and my sister had to walk down to the BCA, have a 3-hour-long conversation. Then they decided to release the names this Saturday.
Telling them it was a violation, that every day they withheld the officers' names, that they were breaking the law. They were supposed to release their names and information the first day they were put on paid administrative leave.
That's right. 13.82, you're exactly right.
Breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
Criminals.
And as you guys know, the names of the 5 officers who killed my brother have been released. As my sister mentioned, 2 of the officers who were involved had prior incidents where their use of deadly force was justified. Anthony Keel was a Bloomington officer who killed a 24-year-old male, January 15, 2015. He was let off the hook, and now he killed my brother July 2nd, 2019.
Shame.
Criminal.
Jacob Peterson.
Roll your eyes at them.
Jacob Peterson,
Yeah,
who
man,
works
don't
for
roll your
Eagan.
eyes.
Jacob Peterson, who works for Eagan Police Department, fatally shot Zachary Primo, a 26-year-old male, June 11th, 2013 in Duluth, Minnesota. Zachary was laying face down on the ground with his gun underneath his chest, and his mother and neighbors witnessed the shooting and heard Peterson, the officer, yelling, "I'm going to kill you, Zach." And this is the Eagan police officer who also shot my son, my brother.
Serial killer.
Facts.
And then the third officer who shot my brother, his name is Adam Steer. He has 3 lawsuits filed against him for his conduct with administrating sobriety tests, and he was awarded for a high number of DUI arrests and as basically the best Lakeville officer of 2019. So we honestly just want to ask, how can we believe that this is a fair investigation when the pictures of the officers who shot my brother aren't being released, when information about them is not being released? And as Michelle already mentioned, it's up to you guys to decide whether you guys want to release the Eagan body cam footage. There's no law or regulation stopping you guys from doing that. So at this time, is at your guys' discretion. So if you guys want to choose to uphold your policy over providing us and the community information about what happened on July 2nd, that's completely your choice 100%. And I just want to ask, why are we putting officers with this kind of background at the front lines in situations like this? Is this a standard practice? Why is Bloomington doing this? Why is Eagan doing this? And you said this multiple times, and you keep saying it again. We want the dash cam footages. We want the squad cams. We want more information. We need answers.
So what's funny to me is the first time I came to something like this, it was about the police. And it was about how we have these things called SROs over in Minneapolis and a lot of other schools. And the same problem we got right now is the same problem they have over there. Y'all be beating people up. And in this case, killing people. And so what we fast forward, that was 2 years ago, or in 2019, every summer since 2013, y'all have murdered somebody. In all of the major metropolitan areas in Minneapolis, Eagan, Edina, Minnetonka, Hopkins, in situations like this, I know people that don't know nothing about this. This isn't turning on Twitter yet. You want to know why? Because the same issue y'all did out here was blocking off the road like 5 miles back. Y'all did the same shit with evidence. Y'all did the same shit with
Tell it.
Like everybody else talked about. I'm 23. I just turned 23 this year. Isaac was doing the exact same stuff in this community that I'm doing. So what y'all gonna do with me? I'm actively talking about this nonsense. I'm actively reminding people y'all got created in the first place to take people like me back down south. Whether that was torture, murder, rape, burning people, stringing them up. That's what y'all got created for in the first place. So if we don't acknowledge that, you protect and serve, then start proving it. Prove it by the fact that you turn over evidence.
That's right.
That's right.
That's what that really looks like. Because what happens when y'all get killed overseas by people who look like us? Y'all getting 16 shotgun salutes, all that. And when we kneel for the flag, what y'all got to say? Y'all got issues, right? We got issues.
Yep.
We in this country as a whole, because of what? Nonsense like this. So if you really care, if you really want justice to be served, why don't y'all do exactly what we're asking you to do? That's all I have to say.
Good evening. I'm gonna give you due, Mayor. I'm gonna give you due because I've been in these situations a lot of times. I'm kind of an old guy. I've been around. Unfortunately, I've been to these things too many times. I've seen, I've been supporting people whose families have lost loved ones due to police actions like the one that took our brother Isaac's life. And a lot of times they don't have patience to at least hear us. So I appreciate the fact that you kind of lock this all up when people are screaming at you. But I do hope that you all actually listen because you have an opportunity here.
I'm sorry, can I speak your name?
My name is Mel Reeves.
Thank you, Mel.
But you have an opportunity here if you actually listen to folks. And as I think Jelani said very earlier, for most of y'all, if you were in the same position, if you were in this position that Sister Maya, we would defend you as well. We don't think cops killing folks is the right thing to go. We don't agree with that. We don't,
That's right.
We pretty much think there's hardly any circumstance in which somebody should take somebody else's life. Right? And there's considering the police have on their cars to serve and protect, I can't think of a single circumstance unless they're actually shooting somebody, and that's seldom happens. In fact, when people are actually shooting, the police go in the opposite direction. Come on! But I can't think of a single circumstance in which this thing would be justified. And then, so there's a lot of things that we don't know. I'm trying to use this about the circumstances in this situation, right? But we do know that we don't know what precipitated it, but we do know this. We know that Isaac didn't kill anybody. We know he didn't commit any murders, he didn't kill anybody. And we do know around this country, people who killed dozens of folks, right? In mass murders, they've been taken alive, right? Some of them have a gun in hand, right? But they somehow get taken alive. So we don't know what it is, but we do know that that's what happens in most situations, and that's what should happen in this one, no matter what the situation. That he should have been taken into custody. We don't know why it took 9 cops and 90 cops to apprehend him. Right? We don't know why so many cops. We have some suspicions, and this is the problem in our society. When you see people who look different than you as something else, then now you see a problem with white supremacy. What Donald Trump is doing is not harmless. What he's doing is separating us, so you can see people differently. That's the whole point of it. And if you see somebody different than yourself, you start thinking them as less than. If you think somebody's less than, you can do all kind of stuff. That's why I'm here. Because they did not, your police did not see, and Bloomington and all the rest of them, they didn't see Isaac that day as a human being. That's right. They saw him as somebody who could be victimized. And some people will hide behind, the law. They'll say, well, it's legal. He didn't do X, Y, and Z. What have you. It was legal. It's justified somehow. But as a black person, I'll never forget that slavery was legal. Jim Crow segregation was legal. Right? Apartheid was legal. Right? What's going on the U.S. border is legal. Raping children and mistreatment of you is legal. But it ain't right. There's a lot of things
None of it right.
Try to get away with because under the guise that it's legal, but just because it's legal don't make it right. Because this is wrong. We feel it in our bones. We weren't there. We don't know what happened, but we know that Isaac should still be here.
Right.
Yeah. And again, we don't know why he was killed, but we do know this about him, that he was a human being. Yeah.
Yes.
He was her brother. Right? His brother. Right? Her nephew. He was a human being. When you cut him, he bled, and his blood was red just like the rest of us. That's what we do know about. We don't know why your employee Jacob Peterson killed Isaac, but we know that he killed before, and he should not have been allowed to carry a gun. Look at this guy's record. He killed some kid in Duluth, shot him in the back while he was laying on the ground.
Should have been in prison.
Right? So how he wound up on your police department, that's something you want to look into. Representing your police department.
Did he lie on his application?
We don't know.
No.
And so we don't know exactly, I'm about that. We don't know exactly why these murders continue to happen, but we know that something else is working. Because, with all these killings, the police have in the car to serve and protect. Brother Matthew said it earlier. We're starting to suspect that maybe their job isn't just necessarily to serve and protect. Maybe it is to serve and protect certain people. Come on. Right? But certain part of the population continues to die. Right? And so you got to ask the right questions. Maybe they're there to do something different. Right? Maybe they have another goal. Now, they may not be telling us, but we can only assume. Because people keep winding up dead. Especially people who look like me. Right? They keep coming up dead. There's got to be a reason. We don't know. But we have our suspicions. That maybe the police's real job is to reinforce the stereotypes in the society, right? Reinforce all the negatives. That's why they hit women. As a friend of mine used to say, he hit us with that stick to remind us of our place in the society. And I'm suspicious that they kill one of us every once in a while to remind us of our place. But we've done the right thing, and we ain't staying in our place.
That's right.
Everybody who came out here deserves a pat on the back because the whole point of terrorizing us is so that we don't stand up for our rights. So we don't stand up for our rights on the job, at Amazon. So we don't stand up for our rights when we're walking down the street. So women don't stand up for their rights. So immigrants don't stand up for it. Because this is about sending a message to us that if you stand up, you have the nerve to be black in this society, we're going to put you in your place.
Come on. You're not taking it over.
So I'm done. But this kind of behavior, we always talk about democracy and what have you, and we had to champ up. This is what democracy looks like.
That's right.
For that warm welcome, for those of us who made it in, but I talked to a woman here who was threatened with arrest just trying to get here. So I cannot imagine that was not coordinated somehow without your approval and understanding. So while you welcomed us and said you wanted our comments, there were many people who made the drive out here, took the bus or however, and couldn't get in here. So that is very contrary to what you were saying. And I hope that that is not the pattern that we'll continue to see as we continue to make the call for justice for Isaac. So we need to do better. Calling for the release of the videos, of the body cams, and of also the transcript from the 911 call. So I want you to understand why this is important and what happens if you do not already know what happens. The time that the police have the audio and video, the officers who have killed Isaac have the opportunity to review and watch and craft their stories and their reports around the video. They also have the opportunity to edit the video and to edit the audio. These things happen. I'm going to give you examples. Fawn Lee was just 18 years old when he was riding his bike when he was killed by a Minneapolis police officer. There was a video that was released. This was years ago. The video was not panning anywhere, and it says, oh, we can see everything up until the officer shoots, and then it pans away. No, Minneapolis police zoomed away from the incident and got close-ups of whatever was in the far left corner, but gave the background that, oh, it panned away. No, it didn't. That was a cover-up. We saw with Jamar Clark, oh, it doesn't cell phone returned in. Those videos have never been released. Jamar Clark's family is still fighting for some type of justice, even after all the protests that happened. Cardell Sherrill recently died in Beltrami County Jail. Without that video, they would have no recourse, no real idea what happened other than that they knew he was very sick. But it's the video that the mother has been able to see and use that is helping her get some justice. My nephew Marcus Golden, Paul Paulos made a statement at a press conference saying there's no video, there was no camera. 4 years later, we find out, yes, there is video and there's camera. It was left out of the police report.
Right, after the statute of limitations.
After the statute of limitations, yes. Cordell Handy, killed by St. Paul Police. There was a video release of moments before he was shot. But from the person who took that video, she had when he was shot. That part was never released. They act like it's not there. His mother still doesn't know if that video is going to be accessible because St. Paul Police will change the audio. They changed the 911 audio and other audio from Marcus's killing. So these are things that police can do and do. So without the audio from the 911 call or the transcript, without the video, what you're doing is you're denying Isaac and his family any means of justice because most attorneys will not take a case until they have a video minimally or some type of data that they can hold on to and build a case around. And the longer you wait to turn that over, the more difficult it is, and you're complacent in denying this family justice, and you're collaborating with the police in the Minnesota DCA.
And we're not gonna let you get away with it. Just
Show away.
This family deserves to see some forward movement, and that will be done by releasing the transcript of the tape and all videos that pertain to the execution of Isaac. And that's a very tangible ask that you can make happen, and it needs to happen. There is no reason that the Minnesota DCA or any other agency needs to hold on to it other than to try and cover up in this police execution. And it's a shame that it continues to happen and over again. Because see, we black people, we need video to get any justice. See, that's the difference. So don't continue to deny them any chance of justice. What they need is what belongs to them. Release that. They deserve to know and see what happened and be able to find an attorney and to move this case forward and hold these police officers accountable.